Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, derps and derpies alike, and welcome to my page. And right now I'm on local play, and I'm playing some Call of Duty Ghosts, and I'm not online because I don't feel like playing online and getting massacred half the time. Well, I don't get massacred at all. I'm not a hardcore Call of Duty gamer anymore. I was only hardcore Call of Duty gamer back in Modern Warfare 3 and Modern Warfare 2. And I kind of stopped. I just didn't care about Call of Duty after that. And I buy it and I just play it for recreational. I don't really play most of these games, Call of Duty anymore, and Battlefield and all that stuff. The reason is that I got college and I got all this stuff to do, and doing my thing and having some fun. So let's go ahead and talk about what I'm about to talk about. This is the first episode to my paranormal page that I'm going to be talking about. It's called My Ghost Stories. Now, this is the very first ghost story that I'm going to be talking about, and it happened when I was 5. And this one wasn't. This one's not really that scary. I will do a part 2 on it, and it's not that scary on this one. It's kind of one of those things that you go, "What in the world did I just see?" Okay, I was at home, just doing my thing. I was 5 years old. Why was a 5-year-old at home? Well, my mom went out to go get something to eat. She went to McDonald's. So this is happening over here in Texas. So in Texas is haunted for it. It is renowned for its haunted locations in South Texas. Um, a lot of people will agree with me with that. And there's some areas on the north side of where I live is haunted too. Now, what I mean by South Texas, I live in San Antonio, so I'm talking about South Texas. I still call it South Texas, known as South San Antonio. Anyway, this one happened when I was 5. So we were in an apartment. Now, we used to live in these old apartments that used to be on the south side of town, near. Well, you could sort of say it's near Lackland, but then again, it's not near Lackland. It's like further away because I went to a whole different ISD. Like I'm supposed to go to South San ISD at the time, and I didn't even go to South San ISD. I went to a different ISD at the time. Anyway, I went to this school that didn't even have a lot of kids. It was a very small population, and it's way out there. I don't even remember the name of this school. What I understand by it that they closed it down after maintenance problems, and they couldn't keep hold of the the school. Because it was falling apart. It's a pretty old school. One of the teachers said it was there since the 1950s or something like that. They had to tear it down. They did build a new school anyway about that. In the area, and I haven't seen it. I didn't go check it out because I'm not gonna drive way out there trying to find this area. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about this ghost one. I was in this apartment and we were living in this apartment. My mom went to go get some McDonald's, some Mickey D's, some McNuggets. At the time, McNuggets was the shit. Okay, McNuggets now is not even. It doesn't even taste that good anymore. Anyway, maybe it's because I got older. Anyway, this is not about McDonald's. I was out there, just chilling, in the living room, watching some cartoons, watching some what do you call this cartoon? It's old. Hey Arnold. I was watching Hey Arnold, and that actually startled me for a second there. Anyway, uh, I was watching Hey Arnold, and what creeped me, what was really weird about this one here is I heard my name get called out. Okay, at this time my dad is at work. He works on base. He works at Lackland, and I was like literally wondering who's calling my name. So this is not really creepy. It's just out of nowhere. Okay, it's one of those quinky dink moments. You're like, what? Okay, now I was being called by my name, and I was like, what in the world? Who is calling me? And I didn't know who was calling me whatsoever. So I walked around. The place is not even that big. The restroom is like so close to the my parents' bedroom and all that beautiful stuff. My bedroom was the biggest out of the area, out of the whole entire apartment. I don't know why my parents didn't take the bigger master bedroom. Anyway, I was trying to figure out where my name was being called at. Now, I walked around the whole house, apartment in this case, and I was looking, and I'm looking, and I couldn't find the source of where my name was being called from, but it was like coming through the walls. So I thought it was a neighbor, but I was like, wait, how can it be my neighbor if we're on the top floor and no one's home on the bottom floor? Because the neighbors, they're like hard earning workers. I mean, they're never home because they're both doctors. So I don't know why they live in an apartment and they were both doctors. Anyway, I was trying to figure it out, and when my mom came home, I'm like, Mom, somebody was calling my name in the house, in this apartment, and then she's like, she just said, you just imagine it, and all that stuff. And I was, baffled. I didn't even know what it was. And I was like, my mom doesn't believe me, so I told my dad, and he's like, oh, I'm too tired right now, boy. I had a hard time work. I don't want to hear none of your stories, yada yada yada. Go do your homework. And I'm like, how in the world do you go do your homework? And if none of it makes sense. So it was weird. It was on a Saturday too, so this may seem weird. It may seem a little stupid. So just one of those things that you don't understand as what was going on. So I don't know what I'm doing in this game. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first part of it. So I still got a lot more. I got about 7 minutes. So let's go ahead and talk about this other ghost story. Now, the first one I was talking about here, it's not even scary. It's just one of those things that baffled me. Okay, as a kid. So it didn't make any sense to me. So let's go ahead and talk about this other time. Now, this other time, we were like somewhere in Maryland. Now I don't know where in Maryland where we are. It was a family reunion. We're over there in Maryland. So many of the family members came over. About someone told me it was like 620 to 1,000, or I don't remember how many was there. Anyway, we were at this area, and I never thought Maryland being haunted, but Maryland apparently is haunted in its own way and right, because it's during the American Civil War and American Revolution. There is this one house that I don't know what they did. I think they went to go rent it and for the family reunion. We didn't do it again. And this place is literally haunted, but they had like these pristine walls and stuff. They had these pictures that literally look like they're following you wherever you go. So it's very weird. But that's not the scary part. The scary part is when I went up the stairs in this building with my cousin. Now my cousin, nowadays my cousin is like a complete what do you call this? Ghost hunter / military person. Anyway, he went upstairs with me, and somehow we split up. Now I'm looking for my cousin, literally looking for my cousin, trying to figure out where he's at. I'm like, "Cuz, where you at, man? Cuz." I'm yelling out my cousin's name. I'm like, "Cuz." I'm not gonna say my cousin's name over YouTube because he would get mad. He won't get mad. He would just say, "Why use my name? Why didn't you just use Craig or something?" I'm like, "Why use Craig?" We're not gonna get into that. The main reason why I say this is one of those ones is I also call it a coinkydink. So I walked up the stairs looking for my cousin. I'm yelling at my cousin's name, and I'm like, "Where you at, man?" He's like, "I'm over here near the restroom. You got no running water, so I think the only running water is downstairs." So he says he's gonna go down the other steps. I go, "What other steps?" So I was looking for which pair of steps he went down on. So I hear running on the top floor. All right, not on the top floor, like the floor that you see. It goes first, second, third floor. It's on the third floor. I think it may be third. Maybe it's like a little landing, and you call it a second floor. Anyway, I was looking at these steps, and you can hear somebody literally walking across the hall, and then you can start to hear the person, like a person stepping uh, up the stairs, like literally walking up the stairs, but with like boots. And it was like, whoa. I go, who's wearing boots? I look down the steps, and no one's coming up the steps. So I'm like, what in the world? You know, again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm 5 years old. And I didn't understand what's going on. So I literally froze for a second. I'm trying to figure out what in the world. So to add on to that effect of picture you up there trying to find your cousin, and then you hear somebody walking on the landing, and then you hear somebody coming up the stairs with like old hard boots. And I'm like, and weirded out. Now, a lot of people say that's not scary, but if you were there as a 5-year-old, yeah, it is. If you're there as an adult, you're trying to debunk this stuff, and literally you're trying to debunk it, and you're like, no, this can't, no, this, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know how this works, I don't know how, that type of stuff. You don't know what happened, you don't know how this happened and all that stuff. And adding on to this more weird thing. I don't know why I keep saying adding on to this part of this whole entire weird thing is that nobody in my family still believed me about who was walking up the stairs and walking on the landing. My cousin's like, what are you talking about? I ran down the other set of stairs. I go, what other set of stairs? He points it out. There's this whiny steps of stairs that go around. It winds up, but it doesn't look like it's a winding up step type of stairs. It just looks like it winds up, and it still goes up to the next landing, next floor, and I just noticed I had like I had the TV volume up, so I had to turn that down. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys are weirded out by that, you hear a back noise, and I all died. Anyway, I talked to my cousin years later, as we're teenagers and growing up, and he's like, he still to this day holds the point, even though he's a paranormal investigator. He says, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't hear nothing go up the landing and all that stuff, but he said I might have heard somebody walk up the stairs, but he won't completely say what he saw or what he heard, because he's one of those people trying to debunk this stuff. It's weird. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's it for this part of it all. As I die again. Until then.